Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. If it's the first time you are joining us, kindly subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so you get notifications anytime I upload a new video. In my last part 1 video actually, I spoke about 11 reasons why you should read more, and I made a promise I was going to share with you 30 books to read before you turn 30, and I'm honoring that promise. So today in this video I'm going to show you a presentation of 30 books I believe you should read before you turn 30, and this is a list of books which are basically personal development books. So I'm going to do a part 2 of this video where I'm going to share from other journals, books from other journals, but today you'll find out that the books are mostly personal development books. But these books, I believe, if you want to dive into developing yourself and growing professionally and becoming a better person, these books are where you have to begin from. And I say this, my whole life is not about books, but books make my life whole. I believe that what you don't know is in a book you never read, and the challenges you face are because of what you don't know, because ignorance is to be blamed for 90% of our problems. So it's very important for us to cultivate the habit of reading. And again, I will be doing another video which shares with you on some techniques I use to read, which may help you also do just that. So let's dive right in. The first one is Outliers, the story of success by Malcolm Gladwell. Malcolm happens to be one of my writing mentors. I like his books a lot and I read them a lot. And please, these books are not in any particular order. I've just thrown in the 30 books I think are the books you have to read before you turn 30. And this book talks about how the great people actually became great, not as the conventional wisdom we know or the way we think people become great. And this book really throws more light with a lot of research, and the way he writes is really captivating. And so it's going to take you on an intellectual journey of understanding what really goes into becoming a great person and or becoming successful. This is one of the best books I've read about success, and it's not motivational or getting you all pumped up for work, but it really brings you to the point where you understand what it takes, what really goes into becoming successful. So number 1 is Outliers, the story of success by Malcolm Gladwell. The next one is by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This has sold over 15 million copies and is still selling. And it's powerful lessons on personal change, attitude, habits, work ethics. This book is great, and I really recommend it for anyone who is looking to have these books on the shelves. This is one that you want to have, you want to read, and you want to apply what you learn from this book. It really helped me a lot. The next one is Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. She's a psychologist, a researcher. She's done outstanding work in psychology, and she brings us what she calls the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Reading this book actually opened me to how I can learn to fulfill my potential, which is what this book actually seeks to do. And it's very important to understand that without the growth mindset, as she talks about in her book, it will be very difficult for you to grow and become your very best. And you need to know that in every sphere you find yourself, whether you're a parent, you are in business, you are in school, relationship, understanding what it takes, that mindset it takes to become successful, is very essential. And that is why I always keep this book with me everywhere I go. It is with me. It is one of the books I don't want to give out to anyone. So that is third on the list. Number 4 is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. This book has sold a lot of copies. It's an international bestseller. The question we all ask ourselves is, why am I here? Why are we on earth? And it's very important to understand your purpose. And for you to do that, this is one of the best books to direct you as to how to find your reason for being on earth. And it has sold over 25 million copies internationally, and it's still an international bestseller. The fifth one is The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. This is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece, and I love the stories in there. I wish I can just talk about some of them or quote some of them, but I've tried not to go into the books too much. Maybe I will do a different episode where I talk about the content of the book and lessons that you can take away, even if you haven't read it before. I may do that for another video, but today I'm just focusing on introducing the books to you. You have to get this book. by Khalil Gibran, the Prophets. It is going to change the way you look at life, your understanding of issues and everything. It is a masterpiece. Number 6 is The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business by Charles Duhigg. This book actually opened my eyes to the things I thought I was doing just because I just did them, but I came to understand that that is how habit forms and how you can actually begin to build new habits and drop old ones. Like they say, it takes 21 days to form any new habits scientifically, but this book brings to the core what actually goes into developing new habits and how you can become aware of the habits that are stopping you from succeeding and how to create new ones and get yourself out of the loop. This is one book that I would recommend for you. Number 7 on the list is The Power of Now by Eckhart. This book is great. It's opened my eyes to the understanding of my whole being and enlightenment, and I want you to read and then you will begin to grasp the concept of what I'm talking about. On the outside, it looks all spiritual book or like religious, but it's not. You understand that the lessons in there are practical and you can apply them in your everyday life. You should look at this book. Get one for yourself as well. Number 8 is Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. This book also opened my eye to like life, business, everything that has to do with coming to terms with reasoning and thinking and coming to like how you can really put yourself to work. And I don't want to get into it. This author is a winner of the Nobel Prize in economics. He is such a great and prolific author, and this book is actually one that has kept me going back again and again. Thinking Fast and Slow is one that I would definitely recommend for your bookshelves or for your reading and practical application of it. Number 9 is The Power of Positive Thinking. Norman Vincent Pearle is known as the father of positive thinking, and he started a whole movement of motivation and inspiration, and this book actually brings to the core what it means that whatever you can conceive and how you can use your mind to direct, think about things that you want in a way of exuding positivity and working towards it. And if you read the title, you might think it's all about thinking positivity, but it actually gives you steps of how you can realize the things or the dreams you wish for by bringing practical applications to it. So number 9 is The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Pearle. Number 10 is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. The first time I saw this book, I thought, this is corny. I don't want to influence people or win friends. I want people to like me for who I am. But I came to understand that in relationships and business, if you don't know how to relate to people, you are never going to succeed. If you don't know how to get people to side with your ideas, to get them to work together, you don't know how to play a team together, then you can't win. And so this is one book that you need for every profession in every career you are pursuing. Knowing how to deal with people is your gateway to becoming successful. Number 11 is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. This book is going to open your eyes to your mental, emotional success all over, physical, financial. It's not just about one area or one sphere of your life, but it encompasses different things that you can do to become truly successful. And Tony Robbins actually goes in deep in the book Awaken the Giant Within. So it's number 11 on the list. Number 12 on the list is The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I've always felt like this book was for people who wanted to be manipulative or psychopaths, actually. But after reading the book The 48 Laws of Power, I came to understand that it's just like the how to win friends and influence people. You need to understand how to deal with people. When you know how to deal with people and how to work together and build relationships and not get played, and understanding how the corporate world works and the world out there works, it increases your chances of surviving and succeeding at what you do. So this is one that I would definitely recommend for your reading and application. Number 13 is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. This is right from the book of Proverbs, and it's in the Bible. As a man thinketh, so is he. Your thinking, your reasoning, your mindset determines your whole life. And this book actually goes deep into the principles required to bring in what you have in your mind to fruition. Number 14 is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I've always thought that making money or becoming wealthy is something that is left for the genius few, but in this book he talks about the mental program, how to bring it to bear, and he says something very profound. He says that if you want to become rich just to satisfy your desires or your pleasures, then that is not a good thing. You need to have a motive for why you want to become rich, and that stuck with me from the very beginning of the book. So you need to understand your reasoning why you want to make money, and once you have that all sorted out, then the how is what this book will teach you. Number 15 on the list is the richest man in Babylon. I love the way he told the story from the ancient Babylon and the friends, Akkad, and all of them. And if you read a book, you are not going to miss a thing, because he uses a story to tell deep financial knowledge or share with you very practical financial freedom knowledge that you can apply in your everyday life. And this book is one that, if you know nothing about financial education, or if you have no sort of financial education, this is the book to start with, and it's going to direct you on how to start dealing with saving money, investing money, how to grow your money, and what to do when you have and when you don't have money. Number 16 on the list is the Bible. The first time I made this list, someone was asking me why I didn't put the Bible first. Again, this list is in no particular order. I just put all of them there. The reason I added the Bible is because there are a lot of books that can inform you, but the Bible can transform you. And a lot of books have been written just from the Bible. People have written books from a single quote from the Bible, like As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, actually came from the book of Proverbs in the Bible. And you realize that a lot of books just gives you information, and what the Bible does is more than that. There's nothing in life that there is no reference of it in the Bible. If you're having trouble in your marriage, if you're having trouble in your relationship, with money, with your life, with school, with work, if you open the Bible, there's something in there to teach you how to do or how to fix that problem that you have. The Bible is the answer to every problem on it. And so I put it there as number 16 as a book you have to read. You have to find a way to read through the whole Bible before you turn 30, because once you do, it's going to transform your way of thinking and your way of life. Number 17 is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Sorry, Brian Tracy, not Brain Tracy. So this book actually talks about tackling how to overcome procrastination and do the things you have to do. And this is what stops a lot of us from becoming successful. We know what we have to do, just that we don't have the strength or the discipline to actually do them. And so one thing we have to do to break the barrier to success is coming to terms with being comfortable with doing the uncomfortable things. And that is what this book talks about. Number 18 on the list is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And you realize that this book is not just about thinking. You can't just think and grow rich. The book actually gives you practical lessons or ideas on how to do or steps to take to bring your ideas to fruition. But it goes beyond that to give you what you need to turn the ideas you have and develop the mindset to become successful. Number 19 on the list is by John Maxwell, Failing Forward. We all make mistakes, we all fall down in life, but the people who succeed are those who know how to take their failures, their falling, their mistakes, and turn them into successes. And until you learn to do that, you are going to start beating yourself whenever you make a mistake. Instead of learning from it, you begin to condemn yourself, and that will stop you. And John Maxwell, in his book Failing Forward, actually throws more light on this subject, on how to turn your mistakes into stepping stones for becoming successful. Book number 20 on the list is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And this book actually talks about when you set your mind to something and how you can come to the point where you understand what your life is all about. And his story is an incredible one. I recommend you to read it yourself, and I know you are going to pick a lot of lessons from this book. Number 21 on the list is another one from my writing mentor, Malcolm Gladwell, David and Goliath. We've often seen underdogs, like we read the story of David and Goliath and we think, how come David was able to defeat Goliath? And he's able to bring this story from the Bible and rewrite it with contemporary explanations for you to understand what it takes for people who have actually succeeded. And it is not what you think. You might think that, oh, it's just a good story of some underdog coming out to succeed against all odds or coming out of a place of disadvantage. But Malcolm once again brings to us a lot of research work done to throw more light on the subject of how you can overcome impossible situations. And this is one book that I actually enjoyed reading a lot and has been made a lot of sense in how I live my life and how I overcome situations that seem impossible. Number 22 on the list is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I don't need to say much about this book. If you want to start financial education on how to accumulate wealth and how to spend money or what to do with money in total, this book is something that goes beyond just money. It's a lot of life lessons on how you can live a successful life. Number 23 on the list is Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. This is not non-fiction, but the story in there is something that you actually would enjoy and will come to pick a lot of lessons from. It is on my list because it has made a lot of impact in my life. Number 24 on the list is Still Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. And I talk about this book a lot because I've often wondered whether imitating other people and applying my own style to it is wrong. But he was able to open my eyes to the fact that everyone copied something from someone, but it depends on how you do it and how you apply it. And so if you're an artist, you're an artisan, a singer, a musician, a painter, a writer, you should read this book and you're going to understand how to take what others are doing and put your own unique style on it to make it your own. Number 25 on the list is Business Secrets from the Bible by Rabbi Daniel Lapin. I've always, like I said on book number 16, the Bible has answers to almost every sphere of life. But in this book, the Jewish Rabbi Daniel Lapin takes us through some secrets from the Bible on how to start a business, grow a business, and what it means to even make money. And people have this moral arguments about whether it is right to even make money or earn money. He talks about how to do it the right way and how to be sound and know that you are not doing the wrong thing or how not to do it the wrong way. And it is an incredible book. Number 26 on the list is by Reverend Chris Oyakhilome, The Power of the Mind. This is one book that will change your mindset and help you to develop that kind of mindset that leads you to success in all spheres of your life. This is not more of a preaching or a religious book, but it is a very practical one, and I wish you get to read it. Number 7 on the list is by Miles Monroe, Maximizing Your Potential. I'm not going to say much about this book, but it is on my list because I've read a lot of Miles Monroe books, but this is one that I can't stop thinking about or applying the lessons that I had from it. Number 26 by Og Mandino, University of Success. I actually liked how this book was structured into semesters and lessons, and in this book Og Mandino talks about gathers taught lessons from experts in different industries and what they are understanding of success is and how you can also become successful. And the book is really full of practical lessons from successful people from all spheres of life who have lived a life worth emulating. And the next one is also from Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world. It's an interesting one, and I think that if you want to get into anything serious, whether it is your career, professional, you want to scale up, knowing the lessons in this book is something that you are going to really appreciate along the line. So it is recommended. Last one on the list is from Jim Rohn, The Power of Ambition. The Power of Ambition. And he talks about, I actually listened to the audio book for this one and I didn't have the hard copy, but the audio book was really interesting listening to, and with Jim Rohn's funny or a way of presentation which is really captivating. I really enjoyed it, and it was able to bring me a lot of like closure, lessons, and understanding on what it means to develop the ambition you need to succeed in life. So yeah, these are my list of 30 books I think you should read before you turn 30, and I believe that it is going to be of great help for you on your personal development journey. So leave the comments for me which one you enjoyed, which one you like, and I'm going to do a part 2 of it where the part 2 of it which I'm going to do books from other journals, but this one is a part 1 which really has to do with personal development books, and I like all of these books. And like I showed you, my favorite is this one by DWECK, Mindsets, because it sets the tone for every other thing that I do. So this is the end of the video. I'm going to do another one where I share with you techniques on how to read or how to read more, or if you want to read a lot of books, the challenge of reading and developing that habit, and I think it's going to be of great help for you. Don't forget to subscribe right here. Click on the bell icon and let me know what you think. And if you have other books you think I should also know about, don't forget to let me know in the comments as well. Thank you, and then have a very good day.